All right. Looks like we're about 9:30. So if people join, right on time or a little bit after, no worries to me. So I want you comfortable in your own home practice. So again, a ball, a couple of blocks, a blanket. You might get to a strap, but those are kind of good things to have just handy. You never know when we're going to use them. Typically, I know what we're going to be using, but sometimes I might throw something in there. And today is Self-Care Saturday. So self-care is so essential to our everyday lives, especially as women. We oftentimes give so much to so many people, but we forget to give to the most important person, and that's ourselves. So today is a little bit about self-care, giving back to our bodies. And then my shirt today says, if you have a chance to be kind, take it. So starting with yourself, be kind to yourself today. And we're actually just going to start with a nice read. So you can kind of just get comfortable wherever you are. We're going to come onto the back and we'll be rolling out the shoulders, but just kind of get comfortable, get yourself situated in your practice. And this is called the Optimus Creed. Yeah, I can make it just large enough that I can read it. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to greater achievements of the future. To wear cheerful, contented at all times, and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have time to give to others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. If I hadn't messed it up, it has a greatness. So I will be posting that on our Harmony Yoga Circle. So hopefully you got the goodness out of that one. So that was what we'll be giving back to ourselves. And then my challenge to you today, I've had some time to talk with different yoga members from time to time. And I hear so often, even with everyday talking with people, that little criticisms come up about ourselves. And I challenge you to, when you wake up in the morning, to look in the mirror, smile, and give yourself 3 positives, not 3 negatives, 3 positives, something that's really a good thing to tell yourself to really set your day off right. So quit criticizing all the little things and look at how wonderful you guys. I see all the beauty in each and every one of you, and I want you to do the same. So that's my yoga challenge for you this month. All right. So we're actually going to come down onto our back, have that softball. If you don't have a softball, maybe just kind of watching along with us, and then in time, maybe grabbing, purchasing some of those things. Like I said, nice soft foam ball at the dollar store, nice place to get it. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and come down onto the back. So coming down however you need to, and remember, if you are working through injuries, please be mindful of those injuries. If something doesn't work for you, just don't do it. Starting with the arms out in front, palms face each other, take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, come down all the way onto the back. We'll take a nice good morning stretch, stretching through the fingers and the toes, really extending out through the fingers and the toes, opening up the body. Good morning, body. I love you so much. I'm going to give back to yourself today. We'll take one more big stretch here. And as you exhale, we'll draw those knees into the body. Just create a little bit of movement from side to side or front to back. Just kind of waking up the body one space at a time. Go ahead and begin to release this rocking motion. Release the soles of the feet down to the mat. And we're going to go ahead and take that softball. And we're going to place it underneath the left shoulder blade or scapula. So imagine tracing your shoulder blade into 3 equal parts. You have the very base, the midsection, and all the way to the conjunctive joint. So we'll be rolling out those 3 different areas with the ball. So starting with the ball on the low part of the scapula or shoulder blade. And if you've never done this before, you might feel a little bit weird, and you might have to take a little bit of time to kind of find that just right space. So wiggle and adjust as much as you need to until you can find that space. And then once you found that space, just take a pause and observe how this gentle pressure feels on your body. Right, it's a little bit awkward if you've never done this before, but it's really, really good at breaking up the fascia tissue, that tissue that supports the muscle membranes, and that tissue runs from the tip of the toes to the crown of the head, supporting all the organs, supporting all the internal parts of our body. So really helping to break that up. And by doing that, creating better circulation, blood flow throughout the entire body. Once you've found that space, go ahead and bring the arm up overhead, reach the fingertips up toward the ceiling, and then take a pause here, and then just kind of let that shoulder blade relax around the ball. You can stay here, but it feels pretty good. You begin to create a little bit of movement, and in time, beginning to create a little bit greater movement. So by doing this, you're actually massaging that space in the low part of the scapular shoulder blade, working that ball a little bit more into that tissue to help break it up and release it. Sometimes bringing the arms up overhead feels pretty good, but I want you to work with your range of motion. So each one of us is built a little bit differently, and our range of motion is different from day to day. So I want you to find that range of motion that feels good to you right now. We're just going to take some time here to explore our bodies. We'll just see where we go today. And then as you're moving through this practice, take a moment here to reflect upon your breath. If you find that you're holding your breath, you can encourage your breath to slow and deepen. Let it move a little deeper into the base of the lungs. And as you breathe, take advantage of the full expression of breath as you expand the lungs from side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Breathe deep. And then really release that breath, audibly or silently release it, let it go. And what this breathing practice does is it really helps to create more openness and expansion in the body. So letting the mind relax, letting the breath continue to slow and deepen, and let it move deeper into those spaces in the body. Got about 3 more rounds of breath here, just exploring the space in the body, counting down for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to let that arm float right back down to our sides. We're going to pause here and apply just a little bit of pressure. Then we're going to begin to roll that ball into the mid part of the scapular shoulder blade. And again, you want to take some time here to just wiggle or move to find that just right space. And it does feel a little bit pokey. That's a natural part of this release. It is a little bit lumpy, bumpy, and that's perfectly fine. But you want to be about in that range. Imagine tracing that shoulder blade and then place that ball right in the midsection. Once you have that, we'll go ahead and reach the fingertips up toward the sky again, reach the arms, and then go ahead and just allow that ball to drape the shoulder blade. Starting here, and then maybe making some small motions, and then letting that motion become whatever it needs to. So again, organically working with the body, exploring the spaces, and just seeing what movement, how that affects that space in the body. Again, your movement doesn't have to mirror mine. It can be exactly what you need to be. Maybe it's not really even moving at all. Maybe it's even resting your arm at your side. So it doesn't really matter what your movements are, as long as you're really listening to your body and letting the energy of your body be directed with your breath. We've got about 5 more rounds of breath here, just exploring this space. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, let your arms float right back down to your side. Take a pause here. And then we'll go ahead and bring that ball to the top of the shoulder blade. So right at that conjunctive joint between the collarbone and the top of the scapula. Take a pause here and breathe. We'll go ahead and inhale that arm up overhead once again, reaching the fingertips up toward the ceiling. And then gently allow that shoulder blade to drape the ball. Again, we'll start with some small motion. And then you can begin to allow that movement to just flow with your breath. So again, it doesn't have to look like anything. It doesn't have to look like what I'm doing. You're just taking a moment here to begin to feel the space in your body. The eyes can be soft, and that helps you get a more internal image of the space.
And the breath continues to slow and deepen. So letting your breath move deeper into your body, taking full advantage of diaphragmatic breath. And maybe this time you're allowing your breath to move into that shoulder blade. So working with your breath. Got about 5 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and let the arm float down to the side and pause. Go ahead and remove the ball, and we're going to just set the ball right on the belly. And breathe, and then just notice the differences from side to side. I can definitely tell the difference on the openness of my left side just by working with that ball. And you may or may not be able to tell that difference. Just taking a moment of reflection. And then we'll go ahead and bring that ball to the right side. And again, starting at the very base of the scapula or shoulder blade, taking a moment to see if you can find that in your body. And if you're not real familiar with your body, take some time to find these spaces. So just take a moment or two to see if you can find it. And then once you think it feels about right, go ahead and raise that right arm up, reach the fingertips up toward the ceiling, and then gently allow that shoulder blade to drape the ball. Once you have that, go ahead and create a little bit of movement. So just working with the integrity of your own body, just finding a little bit of movement. Just noticing the different range of motion from side to side, and each side is just a little bit different. So working to achieve symmetry and balance in both sides of the body. About 5 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and let the arm float down to our side and then just take a pause here. Okay, go ahead and bring that ball into the mid scapula or shoulder blade. So I have to wiggle adjust to find just that right space. And then once you have that, we'll go ahead and inhale the right arm up. Once again, reaching the fingertips up toward the ceiling and then gently allowing the ball to drape the shoulders to drape the ball. And then we'll go ahead and create just a little bit of movement. Starting with small circular rotations and then just seeing where your body takes you. Take time here to really breathe into your body. If you've lost that connection with your breath, find and keep that connection with your breath. The breath will always allow you to move deeper into your practice. So letting the mind be still and just allowing the breath to slow and deepen. Let it move into those spaces that need to open and release. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your arm float down to your side. And then we'll bring the ball all the way to the top of the shoulder blade. Again, wiggle, adjust, or move until you find that just right space. Take a pause here, let your arm rest at your side, and then we'll inhale the arm up overhead, reaching the fingertips up toward the ceiling, and then allowing the shoulder blade to drape the ball. Starting with those small motions. And then again, just connecting breath with movement and just letting your breath guide you into this practice, however you need to be. Let the mind be still and just let the breath and body work together. No judgment, just be present with your body. About 5 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your arm float down to your side and pause. Let's go ahead and remove the ball. We'll place the ball on the lower belly once again, and then just take a moment of stillness. You'd like to set an intention for this practice for your day, moving you into the weekend. Now's an opportunity to create one. An intention is anything meaningful to you that gives your mind focus, your body balance. Maybe it's kindness and compassion for yourself or someone else. So whatever it is you're seeking, you'll find and create this here today. We'll take 3 breaths at heart space, drawing in the power and the positivity of your intention. And as you release the breath, sending with it a ripple of goodness into the world. One person at a time does make a difference. Together, we make that difference. 2 more, just like that. Inhale and exhale. Last one here. Inhale and exhale. From here, let's go ahead and take that ball and we'll place it underneath the cervical spine of the head and neck. So just letting your head drape over that ball. Not trying to hold the head and neck, but just let gravity naturally draw your head toward the earth. And then once you have that natural curve of the cervical spine, just go ahead and allow your head to rock from side to side. As your head rocks from side to side, gently massaging the muscles of the head and neck. Eyes could be soft or closed. And breathe. Get about 5 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring it right back to center and pause. And then go ahead and remove the ball. And we'll set the ball to the side. Take a pause here. We're going to move through a little bit of pelvic rocking. Pelvic rocking is really good for the pelvic floor. It helps to tighten and maintain the integrity of the pelvic floor. And this is something that you can do at any time. We'll go ahead and place one hand on the lumbar spine, so that flat area or the natural curve of the low back, and then one hand on the belly. As you inhale and exhale, we're going to press the flat of the back toward the mat, creating no space in between the hand and our mat. Inhale, direct the chest, begin to draw the pelvis forward, recreating the natural curve of the spine. You'll feel a space created in the low part of the back. Exhale, go ahead and press the flat of the back toward the mat. And then once you have that gentle motion, you can remove the hands, maybe placing your hands on your belly and just following the natural ebb and flow of breath and body as you move between that nice natural movement, the pelvic rocking, as the pelvis draws toward the earth and away. Good. The next time the flat of the back moves toward the earth, pause here. Relax your hands alongside your body. Draw the feet a little closer toward your body, about hip distance apart or so. Press your feet into the mat and begin to draw your hips away from the body, the knees away from the body, allowing the hips to rise. As you come into this space, natural chin lock toward the chest, we move into our first bridge pose, Setu Bandha. And breathe, counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rolling down 1 vertebra at a time, we come right back into that pelvic rocking. Next time the flat of the back draws toward the mat, go ahead and pause here. Press your feet into your mat, throw your knees away from the body, allow the hips to rise. As this happens, begin to bring the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring the arms down to the side, rolling down 1 vertebra at a time, coming all the way down. Press the flat of the back to the mat, feet pressing into the earth, knees draw away from the body, arms reach up overhead. Take a pause here. Exhale, begin to bring it all the way back down, rolling on the spine 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Flat of the back draws toward the mat. Feet press into the earth, knees draw away from the body, arms up overhead. Good. Reach the fingertips away. Exhale, release. Begin to roll down on the spine 1 vertebra at a time. Bring it all the way back to center. Flat of the back draws toward the mat. Feet press into the earth. Knees draw away from the body. Arms reach up overhead. Good. And then continue on Find your own fluid motion, rolling down on the spine, one vertebra at a time, natural curve, pressing the flat of the back to the mat, feet press into the earth, knees draw away from the body, arms reach up overhead. Good. And then we'll just go ahead and kind of follow that ebb and flow of breath and body. Go ahead and move through 5 more rounds, working with your body. Counting down for 3, 2, and last one here. And take a pause here. Let your arms come down your side, but we'll go ahead and maintain that lift in the chest. So as the chin draws toward the chest, you want to add a little bit more. You can begin to rock one shoulder and then the other underneath the arm and underneath the body. Interlace the hands and then gently pressing the upper arms into your mat to help increase and create a little bit more openness and expansion in the heart space. And breathe. We're going to come into a few rounds of Ujjayi breath, oceanic breath, and make sure that your gaze is constant. So looking just toward your chest, not rocking the head from side to side. We begin to breathe. As we breathe in through the nose, we begin to lightly bring the lips together. And as you inhale, expanding the space, widening the spaces of the nasal cavities and the throat. As you exhale, same widening spaces of the throat and nose as the breath releases through the nostrils. In through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Light purse to the lips, lips are closed. Good. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. Gently roll from one shoulder to the next and roll down on the spine, one vertebra at a time. We'll come right back into that pelvic rocking. And just take a moment or two here. Good. Go ahead and release. Go ahead and draw the knees into the body. Go ahead and wrap your arms around your knees and then create a little bit of movement from side to side or front to back. A little bit of movement. Good. We're going to go ahead and draw the knees slightly away from the body. Bring the arms out to the side. 90-degree bend with the legs. Inhale as you exhale. Let your knees fall to the right. If your knees don't come all the way down, you can support it with a block or a blanket. We've got about 5 rounds of breath here. You'll feel a gentle twist in the torso, putting a little bit of compression on the kidneys and the liver, moving waste out and fresh blood and oxygen in. As your knees fall to the right, your gaze can begin to move toward the left. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, go ahead and bring the knees back to center. Wrap your arms around your knees. Create a little bit of movement here, whatever feels good to you. We'll go ahead and bring those knees right back into that 90-degree bend. Arms come out to the side. Inhale, and as you exhale, falling to the left side this time. As the knees fall to the left, your gaze can begin to fall to the right. Again, feeling that gentle twist in the torso, putting a little bit of pressure on the kidneys and the liver, moving waste out and fresh blood and oxygen in. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring it right back to center, wrapping your arms around your knees, creating a little bit of movement, whatever feels really good to you. Option here to roll to your side and come up onto your mat, or you can rock and roll yourself until you come into a seated position. So either one is okay. Good. We're going to roll over the knees. We're going to come into table position. As we come into table position, take a moment here and just find a little bit of free movement. So a little bit of free movement. And this practice today is a gentle one, but we're going to move through some nice fluid motion, nice and slow, and giving that same sense of care back to our bodies. So nothing too extreme today, just giving back energy, vitality, health, and wellness. Good. I'm going to go ahead and come right back to center. I'm going to move through a little different variation of cat and cow. So we're going to begin to cross the left leg over the right. So the knees are stacked and the feet come out to the side.
So a little bit different variation. So we have the left knee crossing underneath the right. So the knees are stacked and the feet are right out at the side. Once you have that, find neutral spine. Inhale through the lower abdominals and begin to hollow out the belly as you round the spine. Let your crown release toward the earth. Good. Inhale, direct the chest to the gate of the shoulders. Head and neck move with the spine. And then just go ahead and move between cat and cow. A little different variation adds a little bit different emphasis to different parts of the body. So just taking time to observe how this feels in your body. Noting that if you are working through injuries and this just isn't the best posture for you, then just come into a traditional cat and cow. Got about 3 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring it right back to center, finding that nice neutral spine. Go ahead and uncross. And this time we'll begin to cross the right leg under the left, knees stacked, feet come out to the side. If you sit here, it's flippity floppity. Okay. Once you get your legs situated, we'll go ahead and come into cat and cow once again. As you inhale and as you exhale, begin to hollow out the belly, round the spine, let your crown release toward your mat. Inhale, direct the chest to the gate of the shoulders, head and neck move with the spine. Good. Exhale, round, and then just go ahead and find that ebb and flow of breath and body. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1 here. And we bring it right back into neutral. We'll go ahead and uncross the legs, come right back into center. We're going to add just a little bit more to this. We're going to take this into, here it's not working. We're going to take this into a variation of down dog. So very gentle, very fluid, using your breath with your body. So we begin to, again, cross the left leg under the right, knees are stacked, feet come out to the side. We begin to inhale and exhale. You're around that spine coming into cat stretch. Inhale the chest to the gate of the shoulders into cow. We come right back into neutral spine. We're going to tuck the toes and then send the sit bones high. You're going to feel a little different variation of this down dog. So coming into the IT band, calf muscle, feeling a little bit more openness. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, direct the chest to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, round the spine as you come into cat. Inhale brings us right back to neutral, tuck the toes, and begin to send the sit bones high. Good. Take a pause here. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, direct the chest to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, hollowing out the belly, coming into cat. Inhale brings us right back to neutral, tuck the toes, send the sit bones high. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, release it back down. Good. Inhale, direct the chest to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, hollow out the belly, let the crown release. Inhale brings us right back to neutral spine, tuck the toes, send the sit bones high. Good. 1 more here, release it down. Inhale, the chest moves to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Inhale brings us right back to neutral. Tuck the toes, send the sit bones high, and breathe. Good. Exhale, release it right back down. Go ahead and uncross the legs. And we'll go to the second side. Right leg crosses under left. Bring the feet out to the side. The knees are stacked. Good. Inhale, direct the chest to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, hollow out the belly. Inhale brings us right back into neutral. Tuck the toes and the sit bones high. Good. Take a pause here and breathe. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, chest draws to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, hollow out the belly into cat. Inhale brings us into neutral. Tuck the toes and the sit bones high. Good. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, chest draws to the gate of the shoulders, head and neck move with the spine. Exhale, hollow out the belly, round it out into cat. Inhale, bring it into neutral. Tuck the toes, send the sit bones high. Good. 2 more. Go ahead and release it down. Inhale, chest draws to the gate of the shoulders.
Exhale, hollow out the belly, crown releases. Inhale, bring it right back to neutral. Tuck the toes, send the sit bones high. We got one more here, and breathe. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, draw the chest to the gate of the shoulders. Exhale, hollow out the belly, let the crown release. Inhale, bring it into neutral. Tuck the toes, and the sit bones high, down dog. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. Uncross the legs. Bring the big toes together and release the hips toward the heels in child's pose. We'll start with an active child's pose by walking the arms away from the body, creating a little bit of space underneath the armpit. Chin or forehead comes down to your mat. Option here for arm placement, extend your arms out in a nice active child's pose. Placing the hands in prayer position behind the back of the head. Stacking the arms and resting the forehead or the chin on stacked arms. Or bringing the arms alongside the body for surrendering child's pose. So any one of those arm placements is fine. Nice long hold time here. About 5 more rounds of breath. Last 3, last 2, and last breath. Let's go ahead and bring it right back to center. Go ahead and give your wrists a little shake in case you've had a little bit more activity on your wrist today. Go ahead and just give them a little shake and let them release just a bit. I'm going to go ahead and come back to sitting on the heels. Now, if this doesn't feel good to you for any reason, then you can certainly come into kneeling. We're going to move through another nice vinyasa, mini vinyasa, just a very gentle, slow, fluid motion. So really getting our blood circulating, being kind to our bodies, and just having that gentle fluidity with our practice. So opening up the body, but just taking a nice soft edge to it. So taking a moment or two here, just finding center, getting a nice stretch across the top of the ankles. Good, and breathe. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring all that goodness to heart space. From heart space, inhale up to the midline. As you exhale, celebrate the beginning of a beautiful weekend. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let your arms float down to your spine. We'll go ahead and bring it right back to the table. Tuck the toes and then draw those sit bones back in a nice stretch across the sole of the feet. Inhale brings us back to center. As you exhale, sitting on the heels. Inhale, arms up overhead. As you exhale, release heart space. From heart space, inhale up to midline. As you exhale, celebrate the beginning of a beautiful weekend. Coming right back into table. Tuck the toes and then stretch that body long. Good. Inhale brings us right back to center, walking the hands back toward the body. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring it to heart space. From heart space, inhale up to the midline. As you exhale, celebrate the beginning of a beautiful day. We take it right back into table. Feeling good. Tuck your toes and then draw those sit bones back. Nice long stretch here. Good. Inhale brings us back to center. Coming right back on the heels. Couple more rounds, you guys. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, release heart space. From heart space, inhale up the midline. As you exhale, come forward into table pose. Tuck the toes, draw those sit bones back in a nice stretch here. Good. Inhale brings us back to center. As you exhale, last one here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, release heart space. From heart space, inhale up the midline. As you exhale, celebrate the beginning of a beautiful weekend. Come right back into table. Tuck the toes. Draw those sit bones back, stretch it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and take it right back into table pose. All right. But open up through the upper body just a bit more. We're going to take this into a few standing poses and take that into some nice deep stretches to really release. We don't do this one real often. So this is another nice way to open up through the shoulders. Please breathe through this. Watch your body, take modifications as you need to. We're going to bring the hands out to the side. Good. And then we're going to begin to come into a little bit of side-to-side motion. We're going to start by bending through the right elbow and bringing the left elbow and bringing our gaze toward the left. Inhale brings us back to center, bending through the right elbow. Yes, there we go. Bring our gaze to the right. There we go. Inhale brings us back to center. And then go ahead and begin to move from side to side. So get that really nice stretch from side to side. Good. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. If it feels particularly good in one of these spaces, you can pause here and breathe. It feels really good in my shoulders, especially after we opened up with that ball. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make sure you're even on both sides. We'll go ahead and bring it right back to center. Good. We're going to do one more nice one for upper body. So we're going to begin to come into melting heart. And in melting heart, you start in table position. So you want your knee to hip alignment. Oftentimes when people come in, they walk too far forward or too far back. So we want to keep about that alignment. So if your chest or your forehead doesn't get all the way down, you can certainly use a blanket or block to bring earth up to you. That's what props are for. We're going to start here, and we're going to begin to walk the arms away from the body. We're going to begin to bring the chest toward our mat. Maybe your chin gets there, maybe the chest does, and then just in time, kind of finding that nice opening in the upper body. Try not to move too far forward. Try to keep that alignment with the hips and the knees as much as you're able, and keeping your shoulders about, or your hands about shoulder distance apart. Got a few rounds of breath here. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a pause here and breathe. Chin or forehead can be at your mat. And we'll go ahead and walk it right back to center. And we'll come into table position. So from table position, we're going to begin to move into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Roll the fingertips to the palms of the hands, nice wide spaces in between the fingers. Push your ring and your thumb into the mat to engage the muscles of the arms. And sitting the shoulders going back and down, nice wide spaces between the scapula. And I know you have that space because we've opened them up. Tuck your toes, bend your knees. When you're ready, send the sit bones high, down dog. We'll go ahead and take a moment or two just to walk the dog by treading through the feet. And we have a little bit of playtime here. So finding a little bit of movement that calls to you. Maybe it's moving between plank and dog. Maybe it's extending a leg or two up and stacking the hips. Coming into 3-legged dog. So a little bit of playtime here. Find the movement that you need and just really embrace your body. So giving back to yourself today, loving your body. And then go ahead and come back to stillness, sitting the feet about mat distance apart. Letting the shoulders roll back and down, letting your crown release toward the earth, and breathe. We're going to begin to walk the hands back toward our feet to come into our first Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Bringing your hands to your shins, your quads, wherever you need to be. Keeping space between the crown and the tailbone. Then the shoulders roll back and down, the chest drop between the gate of the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, deep and forward fold. Bend those knees as much as you need to find the decompression you need in your spine, and breathe. Place it for hands, walking the hands under the feet for gorilla, wrapping your hands around your calves, and maybe in time challenging yourself by coming into a fold, grabbing onto opposite elbows, giving your head a little shake from side to side or front to back, or whatever feels good to you. Now, 3 rounds of breath here, counting down for 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and come back into Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Inhale, exhale, deep and forward fold. We're going to walk our hands back into that down dog. Shoulders are rolling back and down, crown releases. 3 rounds of breath here, counting down for 3, 2, and 1. And this time, walking your feet to meet your hands, coming back into Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Inhale, exhale, deep and forward fold. Give your head a little shake, let those muscles release. We know we've worked on those. Go ahead and bend those knees and inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Palms come together, exhale, release, heart space. If you feel a little bit lightheaded, that's natural. We've been in inversion for a period of time. So just take a moment here, come back to center, let your feet root and breathe. Come back to your intention. Take 3 breaths of heart space, drawing in the power and the positivity of your intention. Breathe so deep. As you release the breath, watch a ripple of goodness move out into the world. One person at a time does make a difference. Together we make that difference. Good. And then go ahead and come to the center of your mat or facing me wherever you are in your practice. And we're going to move through another nice strengthener. We're going to open up a little bit, just some nice fluidity in our bodies. We'll start here, with heels and toes touching or hip distance apart. Find the space that feels good to you. We'll take 3 shoulder rolls back and down. Let those shoulders melt. Reach the fingertips toward the earth. Rotate your palms outward and open your heart. Slight bend to the knees. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring all that goodness to heart space. From heart space, inhale up to the midline. As you exhale, celebrate the beginning of a beautiful weekend. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and step wide apart on your mat. Draw the heels in, toes out, and bend the knees. So external rotation. We're going to come into goddess pose. Find a little bit of movement here. Move from side to side. Wiggle through the fingers. Wiggle through the toes if you're able. And so as we come into goddess, there's external rotation with both hips. So we're rolling slightly back, tailbone releases down, and you might be up here, depending on where your level of flexibility is, or working through injuries, modify it if you need to, and just finding that movement in your body. Good. And we're going to begin to come back to stillness. We're going to get light on the right foot and release it down. We're going to get light on the left foot and release it down. Now we're going to come up on both feet, counting down for 3, 2, and 1. Release both heels down. Begin to come up high on your right foot and release. Begin to come up high on your left foot and release. And then begin to come up on both feet. Maybe taking a nice mudra with your hands. Good. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release both heels down. We'll do that one more time. Coming high on the right and release. Coming high on the left and release, and coming high on both, counting down for 3, 2, and 1. Release both heels down and straighten out through the arms. Take a side bend to the left, take a side bend to the right. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips and widen that space in between your feet as much as you're able. Outside edge of the foot is parallel with the outside edge of your mat. Good. Hips are nice and square. Good. Inhale the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, release the hands behind the body. Draw the palms together, draw the shoulder blades together. Let that heart space shine. Shoulders are gently rolling back and down. Inhale, bring your gaze up, and as you exhale, come forward and forward fold. Good. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. And go ahead and begin to allow your arms to relax over the back side of your body. This takes a little bit more intensity into the shoulder. So again, find the level of intensity that you need. 3 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring it right back to center. Again, being inverted creates a little bit of lightheadedness, so take a moment here and group. Good. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Take a pause here. Let the fingertips reach away from the shoulders. Let your shoulders melt down your back. Good. Exhale, release the hands behind the body. This time we're going to change interlace of your palms, so opposite interlace of your hands. Inhale, bring your gaze up, and as you exhale, come forward. Letting the arms just kind of naturally come over the body and feel a nice intensity in the shoulders. Find the intensity you need. Go ahead and give your head a little shake and let it release out. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and bring it right back to center. Take a moment here. Inhale the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, release, come back to heart space. Good. Go ahead and begin to draw the heels in, toes out. Once again, we're going to release the hands to inner line of the thighs, quads, that area there. Good. Take a pause here and breathe. We're going to begin to move from side to side, creating just a little bit of movement, lubricating those joints just a bit. Good. So same thing, very similar thing to what we did on the floor. We're going to begin straight through one arm as we bend through the other. Just a little bit more openness here. Coming to the right side. Good. Coming to the left side here. Coming back to the right side. And breathe. Coming to the left side here. Good. Do that once more on each side, coming to the right.
Straighten that arm as we come to the left. And go ahead and bring it right back to center. Bring the arms up overhead and take a nice hand mudra if you choose to, and breathe. Become your own goddess. Root those feet. Good. Go ahead and straighten out through the arms. Inhale the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring it right back to heart space. Go ahead and heel toe. I mean a little bit more. And all the way back to center. Inhale the hands up through the midline. As you exhale, celebrate life. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Bring it all the way back down. We're going to come back down onto our mat. We're going to go through a little bit of abdominal work. We're going to start with the ball on the belly, just lying on our back, and then we'll take it a little bit more tense as you need to. So starting here, in front of your mat, slight bend your knees. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring it to heart space. From heart space, inhale up the midline. As you exhale, dive forward, come forward. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Inhale, exhale, deepen forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Put your hands on either side of your feet and step back into plank pose. Draw the heels away from the body. Feel the core begin to engage as you draw your heels away from the body, activating the back line of the legs. Core is nice and strong. Go ahead and lift the right leg up. Point the toe directed away from your body. Inhale as you exhale, right knee to right elbow. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and extend it out and release it back down. Extend the left leg up, point the toe directed away from your body. Inhale, exhale, left knee to left elbow. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and extend it out and release. Once more on each side. Right leg up, point the toe directed away from your body. Inhale, exhale, right knee to right elbow. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and extend it out and release. Last side here, left leg up, point the toe directed away from your body. Inhale, exhale, right knee, left knee to left elbow. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and extend it out, release it down, drop to the knees. You've got 5 rounds of breath in child's pose. Finding your favorite child's pose. Good. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and walk your hands back toward your body. And we'll go ahead and extend those legs through. We're going to come back down onto our back. We're going to start with the abdominal massage, reclined, and then we'll kind of bring it a little bit more intense as we need to. Arms come out in front, coming down onto your mat however you need to. Inhale, exhale, begin to roll on your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Begin to bring the arms up overhead, extend long with the fingers and the toes, full body stretch. Reach it long, reach it strong, stretch out through the feet, open up through the heart, open up through the fingertips. 1 more breath here, and as you exhale, draw those knees into the body once again. Hug those in close. We'll wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a nice big warm hug. I love you, body. I'm giving back to you today. And then we'll release it out. So as we come into an abdominal massage, a couple things to note here. If you are a person that has any type of digestive disease or disorder, such as diverticulitis, Crohn's, irritable bowel, anything like that you're aware of, please move into this practice mindfully. So this does get things moving. It does increase digestion and elimination. It does help with motility. So a lot of times we can carry stress in any part of our body. And when people tend to be under a little bit more, they maybe have a little bit of digestive issues. So this is a really good thing to do, just to kind of calm the body. There's a lot of muscles and a lot of nerves that are right in this area, and this can help kind of relax that. So again, moving through your practice mindfully. If this doesn't work for you, then just omit this part of the practice. We're going to start with the abdominal massage. This is the most gentle way to do it, and then we'll move a little bit more intense as we progress into this. And if you've had enough with just this, then you can just kind of watch and take a break that's modern in your own home practice. So as you come into this practice, if you're a person who tends to have a slower metabolism, then go in clockwise. So working the ball clockwise is going to help with digestion and elimination. If you're a person that has a very rapid digestion, maybe you have loose stools, if you go counterclockwise, then that will slow things down. So clockwise, speed it up, counterclockwise, slow it down. So find that practice that works for you. We're just going to begin to trace. We're going to find where the ribs meet right about here, and you're just going to kind of trace the digestive tract. Now, if you have a full bladder or you had a big belly, this is probably going to get in there a little bit. So if you need to take a break and use the bathroom, might be a good idea because it definitely gets into the bladder, it gets into the small intestine, the large intestine, gets into all that stuff that we would need to kind of work it through. So just like we do things to help kind of release, we do with myofascial, this is myofascial work for your abdominal tract. So take it as much as you need to. Even just rolling the ball on your belly like this is perfectly fine. I'm going to do this for a few more rounds of breath. And as you do this, I want you to let the eyes soften and close. As you move through different areas of the lower abdominal, pay attention. You've got your liver on the right, your stomach on the left, large and small intestine, bladder, colon down the bottom. So really kind of getting into all those different areas and breathe. We've got about 5 more rounds of breath, just kind of massaging that out, being gentle, being kind, not being overly assertive with your body. Counting down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to leave that ball on the belly and breathe. Now, as you move through abdominal massage, you might begin to hear your gurgly tummy or your intestines talking to you. That's actually a really good thing. It's helping to move waste through your body. So if you're feeling a little bit gurgly or it's kind of making a little bit of noise, that's perfectly natural. So again, no worries. If something doesn't feel right, then just don't make that part of the practice. So I did have students that had been right after Thanksgiving, we did this, and they did this abdominal massage, and they both had to go home right away to help move things through their system. So it does have that natural part of the practice. So we're actually going to start as we turn over to the belly. Now, if you've had enough of this, then you can just lie in your belly and just kind of take a few moments of breathing. For those of you that want to move a little bit deeper, we're going to place the ball right where the rib cage meets the solar plexus. So there are nerves along there that have to do with anxiety, and this can help release some of that anxiety. So it kind of helps give awareness to those different areas and release it. So we'll actually start on your belly, and place that ball right underneath where the ribs meet. And this might be pretty intense. And if you might find that you maybe have some upper gas or something as you do this, is helping remember to move things up and out of the body. So natural part of your practice, don't worry about it. And if that feels pretty good, you can begin to stack the arms and rest your forehead on your stacked arms. Now this does get pretty intense. If you have a full belly, a full bladder, or you have a lot of water, it's definitely gonna make a difference. So again, take your practice as you need to. We're going to take about 5 to 10 rounds of breath here, just letting the ball gently press into that space where the ribs meet, moving into the vagus nerve. Let your shoulders relax. Let your legs relax. Let your whole body melt into this. So you definitely will feel that pressure where the ribs meet. See if you can relax into this a little bit. And again, if you haven't done this before, even just a couple of seconds on the ball might be all that you need. So again, I've done these things many times before, so I have a little bit more endurance for it. If you've never done it before, then again, just kind of listen to your body. Just so we don't go over. Okay, doing good. All right, we've got about 3 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 3, 2, and 1. And go ahead and now take that ball. We're going to do the same thing we did when we were lying on our back. We're going to just roll out the belly clockwise for increased digestion elimination, counterclockwise for slowing things down. Speed it up clockwise, slow it down counterclockwise. You're just going to kind of explore your body. Again, this gets a little bit more intense because we have more direct pressure on the abdominal region. So again, if it doesn't feel good to you, then don't do it. And I know my bladder is full, but I'm still going to roll a little bit. All right, a little bit of time here. And you just kind of walk your way around, maybe coming to the toes and kind of rolling around, exploring that. About 5 more rounds of breath here. Counting down for 5, 4, 3,
2, and 1. Let's go ahead and begin to press into a table position, and then we'll come back into child's pose. Go ahead and place that soft ball under the third eye position, and we'll breathe. So bringing awareness into the third eye position. So just gentle pressure here, heading down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and extend those legs through. And again, we'll come back onto our back. Breathing it out for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and find a space that feels pretty good to you right now. We're going to place that ball once again on lower abdominals. You can keep the knees bent, you can extend those legs long. So whatever feels really good to you. Gentle pressure here in the lower abdominals, and breathe. Let your shoulders soften. Let your eyes begin to close. I want you to breathe the toes all the way up to the crown of the head. Fill up the body with prana and life force. Deep into every cell, organ, and tissue. Breathe in. And as you release the breath, feel a purifying breath move out of your body. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. Let it go. Breathe it out. Breathe in fresh new light. And as you breathe out, purifying the mind, the body, the soul, let everything release. Anything that doesn't serve you, let it go. Breathing in, and that purification breath, let it go, release it out. And as you feel the light pressure of the ball, the lower abdominals, tell your body, be kind to your body. Give back to your body everything. Tell yourself, I am good, I am kind, I am giving. I am worthy of an amazing life. I am blessed with family and friends. And I'm glad to be alive. Take a pause here and come back to your intention. Breathe in your heart space, your intention. Breathe so deep. And as you release the breath, watch your ripple of goodness move out into the world. One person at a time does make a difference. Be the difference. We'll go ahead and release the ball. Let your shoulders gently tuck underneath the body. Let the palms rotate outward. Let your feet fall out to the side. So moving into a traditional Shavasana, but if that doesn't work for you, you can certainly come into any space that does feel good to your body right now. As you breathe, breathe from the toes to the crown of the head. Let every space in the body fill up. As you release the breath, that purifying, that releasing, that letting go. Again, as you breathe from the toes to the crown of the head, filling up fresh prana life force deep into every cell, organ, and tissue. And as you release the breath, releasing out the last little bit of anything that doesn't serve you, let it go. Breathing in, purify. Breathing out, releasing. Good. Breathing in to purify. Breathing out, release. Good. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths, just like that. Drawing breath from the toes all the way up to the crown of the head. Purification, release it out, let it go. 2 more. Last one. Begin to bend your knees. Take a pause here. Roll to your favorite side. And then from your favorite side, begin to roll toward the floor, keeping the head tucked, and begin to bring yourself into an upright position. Take a moment or two here. If there's any part of your body that needs any extra added attention, go ahead and give your body the attention it needs. And then once you've done that, go ahead and come right back to stillness. Allow the shoulders to roll back and down, elbows resting underneath the shoulders, palms outstretched, sending energy out, taking in all the beauty life has. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Take a pause here. Palm to palm compression, bring your gaze up, shoulders melt down your back. And as you exhale, bring all that goodness to heart space. Bow the chin to the heart, soften through the eyes. Come back to your intention and breathe. Breathe so deep into heart space
the power and the positivity of your intention. And as you release the breath, sending with it a ripple of goodness out into the world. Breathing in the positive and sharing the positive. One more here, breathe in and share that positive vibration. Allow the corners of the mouth to turn up in a smile. Feel the lightness, the laughter, the pure essence of being alive. Don't overcomplicate life. Life is simple. Keep it that way. Inhale, bring your chin to center. Take a soft gaze to your eyes. From my heart to yours, from my light to yours. Namaste, yogis. Have a great Saturday. I hope you feel super amazing. If you have to run to the bathroom right away, that's a good thing. So go ahead and do what you need to do. You can unmute and say goodbye.
Thanks, Angie.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks,
Have a
Angie.
great Saturday, you guys.
You have a great day also.